Not to mention
wanted to check the
SP and
recording
Yummy
real quick,
cards
and
that are
thank
also
God I
there,
did.
but yeah.
Thankfully, that means I didn't lose too
Alright,
much
Yami meets
on
Tsurugi
recording
with a very
or
impressive
gameplay.
showing here, going
Just
second
that
against
there's this old
Raizio
guy
Mitsurugi,
with 2 guns.
breaking the entire board and turning the game around. Really powerful stuff. I mean, it was a really good hand, but you got to make that work. Not the easiest thing to do.
I hear a lot of things about yyyy. You made it here, so you can't be half bad. Not half good either, though. Why not leave this place to us and retire while you can? No. How about no? How many have I gunned down for saying that? I don't know, but I could send you to meet them.
Prepare yourself!
Wilhelm is my name, but they call me the Freischutz, and I am too old and sly to lose to you.
Stop that.
That's enough. What are you thinking, picking a fight against other explorers? Oh, okay. I was like, alright, I should go save first and then maybe I'll do this again. Oh no, there's a familiar face. That old man wasn't in the original. And I remember you from Nexus at the very least as well.
Honestly.
I'm sorry. My guardian must be overdoing it. That old geezer. He can be such a trouble.
Really?
You were the ones I met the other day at the pole. You've managed to make it this far, have you? Who are you two?
Oh?
That's right. We haven't introduced ourselves yet.
Let's get introductions out of the way. We're Guild Espat. You must know the name.
Kinda. Thanks. We've got a little skill, that's all. But it does add to our reputation here. I'm Artelin, a war magus, and this gunner's Wilhelm, my guardian. We explore the forest together. Just you two? And believe it or not, my guardian was trying to help. There's a nasty beast on the labyrinth's 10th floor. Not like anything you've seen. We don't want anyone without permission from the Grand Duchy to get themselves killed there. Though he meant well, he was only concerned for your safety.
Do you understand?
If you want to go on ahead, you'll have to talk with Dubois at the Duke's palace.
See ya.
Makes enough sense. Wanna go grind a little bit and get a level up. I could try beating the boss. But we do have quests to finish. It might be more efficient to just grind out normal enemies.
Alright, Cookie Yummy Way. And that is enough damage already. Don't have to commit much.
From you guys.
You can commit in cutscene. We're committing the cutscene to the boy. Why not? Sure. The Murakumo cannot attack, actually. That's a good point. So we need a little bit more damage, but we can just turn the Murakumo into Baron the Fleur. That's a thing in Master Duel. Right? That's a thing. And we have Engraver. We're just showcasing every powerful Yu-Gi-Oh card in one deck, I suppose. That's the idea here of this deck. We got Baron, we got Herald, we got Sprite Elf, we got SP, we got a whole Yummy engine, we got a whole Mitsu engine, and we've got Fiendsmith in the mix. It all goes in there, clean 40 cards.
SP's not that strong.
All right,
She just so happens to be so
That is
incredibly
It's
easy to
probably
fit into
game number
every
one.
deck.
Take it with a grain of salt. Maybe it was game one.
Similar
I
to
guess we
Ash
will know if
Blossom
they don't play again.
and Maxi.
Because
I can't deny the
going
strength
first
of
this game,
Maxi
so if
though.
it was game 2, then they were going first because they lost the first game, so it would have been a 2-0 now. So if they don't play again, then this was game 2. But if they play again, then this was game 2.
Like Little Knight
We were in game 3. Oh, you were in game 3.
isn't really all that
Oh,
different
must have been
from,
quick
like,
game
say,
1. Okay, well, fair enough. They will not play again. GG's.
sometimes she isn't really all that
Let me
different from
quickly check
Superstar
what the
Slayer,
score is
Typhon,
between Khan
Crisis.
and Dracaina. Let me see who's got wins here. Dracaina has a win,
And sometimes they're kind of fucking
and Khan has a win.
I
Alright, this
lose
is game
buttons
3.
that you
Let's
press.
jump into game 3 between these two duelists. They've got 15 minutes left on the clock right now.
You get up to all a high hell, and that's the best you can. That's the best
And
end
it
board you're
looks
able
like
to come up with.
Dracaina won the second game because Khan is going first in game number 2.
Sometimes.
Beansmith Rack starts us off into a Fabled Lurry effect.
Dude, stop dying too fast.
So we still don't know what this is. This very much could still be anything. So let's wait and see until we get some more information. We see Lacrima, which confirms a little bit of a bigger Fiendsmith package. We have Bestial Magnamute onto the Engraver. That is powerful, especially if that is Draco Tail. That essentially is a 2-for-1 deal. We stop the Fiendsmith cards and we get the Magnamute search in the end phase. But we have Buyo, the Dawn's Light, summoning itself from hand, making Fiendsmith sequence, searching for the Mutiny in the Sky. What are we cooking here? Fiendsmith sequence effect. We're fusing for 3. And that is going to be Luce, the Dusk's Dark. Target a card your opponent controls. Send Sharvara from deck to grave. Unchained. Okay. And we were only able to use that because the opponent had the Magnamute, because this does need the opponent to control a card. So now we go into Unchained combos. Haven't seen Unchained in Master Duel in forever. Okay, we have an Ash Blossom, but we're using it pretty late. Didn't use it on the Tract or the Requiem. I guess because we had the Magnamute, we were like, yeah, sure, why not?
Anything else you need?
Ghost
Okay,
Bell on
let's hear
the
it.
Fusion spell. No Fusion summon for you. Wonder what that would have summoned. Probably Aerial Ether? And now Yama and Sarama make Unchained Soul of Rage. All right, I mean, considering that we've been hit with Magnamute, Ash, and Bell, ending on Unchained Soul of Rage plus a trap plus the Dusk's Dark is not bad. of course, Maxi in the mix. So we force the opponent to discard another Ash Blossom from the hand. And now, after they've used 4 cards from their hand, we can now start playing normal summon Draco Tail Mululu, fuse Lucius and Pan into our Thalion. That is a strong start into a board. Unchained Soul of Rage is basically forced to respond here, otherwise it will be destroyed. Which I guess we're not activating it because if it does get destroyed, it does trigger a bunch of graveyard effects. Or can it be destroyed? Hold up. Leftmost and rightmost monster zones can't be destroyed. Yeah, this can be destroyed. Okay, Ash Blossom back to hand, Ghost Bell back to hand, and destroy nothing. Okay, we choose not to destroy with Pan.
Will this be okay? Then
Now
let's start.
SP Little Knight is made with the Arthalion, and we use SP to banish Rahu Draco Tail.
Welcome.
Really?
Oh, of course.
We banish
I'll
Rahu
take
and let the
those.
Ketu resolve. All right,
I'll
cool.
take good care
Ulamel.
of them.
Mululu and Phimena activate. We chain SP to get rid of that Ulamel. Could have, I think banishing the Rahu made sense if we had chained SP on itself and the Dusk Stark. Because then we would have had no monsters and the Ketu couldn't fusion summon. I think that would have made sense. But banishing the Rahu and then just letting the Ketu resolve and fusion summon was kind of awkward. Okay. Urgula in the
very
grave
much.
is going to maybe pop the face down. Do we want to pop the face down? No, because it is an Unchained Trap card, I
Good
guess.
night, then. The guest book is here.
Now, this is negated, but it's still pretty big, so we can't actually out it. SP comes back, Gulamel comes back.
you-
Maybe Unchained has some
Doing
room
this
for
then?
follow-up here. Now, this card is
Grimoire, you wanna
negated
equip?
forever, so it won't do anything here, but lets us make Moon of the Closed Heaven, I guess. And there is no Draco Tail Horn, it seems. I think we know both sets. I was just busy thinking about the game state. So I would assume we set Sting. That seems like a very high priority in this matchup. Engraver, yep, there's Draco Tail Sting. Onto Mutiny in the Sky and Engraver, and that does resolve. Put one back, draw one card, no Engraver. We have Buyo again. Now the thing is, usually they only play one Mutiny in the Sky, I would think. I don't think the Buyo is gonna have a target here. Right? So we Ghost Bell the Yama. But that is an Unchained. Okay, we bring back an Unchained monster from the graveyard. That is Sarama.
Anything else you need?
Sarama effect. Okay, we might still have something here. We might still have something here. We're gonna set the trap. We're gonna pop the trap. That's gonna trigger the trap. Because that hasn't happened yet. So we special an Unchained monster from the deck. There's an Ash Blossom, I think, in the hand for the opponent. Is that still there? No, the Ash's been used. The Bell's been used. Okay. Set is Draco Tail Flame, question mark?
Can't guess Ice Prelude.
But there is Abominable Unchained Soul. We discard, of course,
Again,
we do the Blue Dog.
I rarely use
But we're
them,
playing
so.
the full Unchained. This is an Unchained deck, you know?
Here's the
Oh, we
list.
play into Pan here. Ooh, that's dangerous. Destroying the Gulamel, that's gonna trigger the Pan. This can bring back Lucius or Mululu now, and then we're in trouble because that means Phimena will be added to
Then I'll
hand.
get back to work.
Or Pan because we already have
This
Phimena,
is
I
a
guess.
pleasant surprise.
We link into probably Unchained Soul of Anguish. Yep.
Some were even successful in slaying it.
And now
However-
Gulamel just comes back. So we popped it,
Oh,
but not for long. And now we just gave them a free Pan in hand to fuse with. So don't know if that was worth destroying the Gulamel there, discarding a card, and triggering the Pan for the opponent. Unchained Soul of
Duh.
Anguish
You
is going to
then
be
I
destroyed
leave
here,
this
so
in your
unable to
hand.
link with an opponent's monster,
Do
but
you understand?
does have a graveyard effect. that trigger from this. But Mysterion the Dragon Crown, that should be very good against Unchained.
Take care.
If we trigger any like Yama here to special a fiend monster back, that's just gonna banish all the fiends. Unless we add back Sharvara with Unchained
I
Soul
await
of
your
Anguish, because
triumphant return.
now we bring something back. They target
What
it
do you need?
with Mysterion. We can dodge that with
there some
Sharvara.
soul?
There is a world where this
What'll it
works.
be?
Hold up. Here is the Unchained Soul of Disaster.
Respecializing.
That is going to trigger the Mysterion, but we dodge with Sharvara. Okay, we're gaming. The question is, can we still do enough after this? So the dog gets destroyed. The other dog gets summoned, I suppose.
A clean slate.
But where do we
Make
go
the
from
most of
here?
it.
All right, we still
What do you
have an
need?
Unchained. Ooh, bring back
So,
Anguish from the
what'll it be?
graveyard. Now we can use it to
Was there
link.
something else?
Hold up.
Huh.
Link with the Arthalion.
You keep
Do we
the
play
appearance.
Access Code Talker? That is not Access Code. That is just Unchained Abomination. Access Code
That's
Talker
annoying.
would have straight up in game. But are we locked into Fiends? Does anything lock us into Fiends here? Arvara. Ah, while it's on the field, it's only Fiends. Right, fair enough. Yeah, okay. Now, Unchained Abomination destroys the Gulamel. It's banished. We get in for some damage. We don't really have much of an end board here,
welcome
but the
back.
opponent is also
Have
low
a
on
nice
cards.
day.
No
What do you need?
Urgula in the graveyard either. We
So,
pop Dracotail
what'll it
Flame, which means the
You're
opponent has
retiring?
2 trap cards in the graveyard already, so they are very low on trap cards. That was a
there
fun
something
turn,
else?
I must say. That was a pretty cool turn. Ketu Dracotail is the start here, but that's gonna hurt. That is gonna hurt for sure.
What do
We
you
do have
need?
Lacrima in the grave for
So,
Requiem, so we
what'll it
have
be?
some follow-up. And if we play Fiendsmith in Paradise, which I'm not sure if we do that,
Dude,
honestly.
why are
I'm
you not allowed to change
I don't
the
think
appearance?
so, but it could be.
Of your peoples.
All right, Urgula is the ad for the Ketu Dracotail. How many spells do we have? Rahu gone, Ketu gone. That's the second Ketu. There's still a lot of spells in the deck. Ripple Arthalion, or rather Arthalion with 3 monsters. Mululu, Urgula, Pan. We're bouncing that Unchained Abomination. We're bouncing back Sharvara. Bouncing back Sharvara? Who the hand? Are we sure about that? Pan and Urgula.
That's all the paperwork. What do you need?
It's gonna be a lot of
So, what do you
grinding.
need?
That's lots of
Taking a
triggers
rest?
here.
Rest as much as you need to. Rest as much as you need to. Taking a rest?
There's Rahu. We
Taking a
negate
rest?
the Sarama, but that
Rest
doesn't
as
really
much as you
matter.
need to. Was there something else? Rest as much as you need to. What will you do? Consider this carefully.
We don't pop. And now the Sharvara is in hand. I feel like that's a good place for it to be. I think. Right, I think we tried to leave the main phase there. So we're gonna now activate the Sharvara, destroy the
Done.
Sarama, and this could trigger a bunch of things.
Registering the group?
We do have a Yama in the grave as well, so that
Registering
could
the
also
group.
trigger, and it does.
Done.
So Sarama is going to summon one from the deck, and this is going to summon one from the grave, which could be Unchained Soul of Rage, which we can still use this turn.
Consider this carefully.
Giving them back to Sharvara here, I think, is a pretty big deal. Oh, we bring back Luce. Cannot be destroyed by card effects now in the left and rightmost monster zone. Interesting. Bring out Rakea, which I think that's a quick effect pop one. Yeah. And Dracotail times out. Okay, I mean, I guess that explains
Who's
bouncing the
Rosa?
Sharvara. We were very low on time. That was intense. That was an intense game. I enjoyed that.
Oh, right.
That was very interesting. Okay. Unchained is in top 16, I suppose. I mean, I'm happy. Okay. Congratulations. It is kind of low on time. We've got barely 2 minutes left on the round. So let's jump into this and see what's going on here. All right, we are in the middle of something here. 2 Veilers were used against Draco Tail. It is a Draco Tail mirror match. Now, the thing is, normally the Draco Tail mirror match can be very long and grindy. However, because we have 2 minutes left, it is likely that whoever does the first damage wins.
Oh, you. Right, okay. Anything else you need? Later.
Welcome.
We do enter the battle phase
Good night, then.
to try and force that seal. Or maybe they let us attack it,
guest
right?
book is
Maybe they
here.
let us attack it. No, they don't. All right, there's seals. Tribute itself. Goodbye, Cartesia. Probably an indicator for a pretty mediocre hand, to be honest, if we didn't activate that Cartesia effect. Because that probably means we don't have Draco Tails in hand, or maybe just one. But even with one Draco Tail and another monster, I think you would activate the Cartesia, so we just don't have anything. Yeah, that looks like a mediocre hand there for going second. Double effect Veiler, also not that great in the mirror match. All right. Looks like that was the last game of our top 32 that was going on. I hope everyone enjoyed those games. That Unchained game was probably my favorite of the top 32. So hope everyone's having a good time so far. We have a bunch of rounds still to go through. The top 16 are up next. Just gonna go on a very short break while players get ready for their top 16 matches. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Just a very short break, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Stuff like that, essentially. Basically the trick in the matchup is like you can just normal summon the Marshmallow, right? Like if you draw multiple yummies, you can just use the Marshmallow as your normal summon, make a link 1, and then special all the other ones from your hand without activating. So that'll never be a problem for you. It's not like an auto win matchup because of that, but like you play around that factor of the deck really well. Which, for example, Draco Tail does not have that ability at all, right? Because Draco Tail cannot play without activating card effects in the graveyard. So they will always, no matter what you do, you always get hit with like the Azuna if they have. You can't play around. So that's essentially the reason for why people consider the Yummy deck strong into K9, at least fundamentally. Okay. How about the interactions versus K9? They're also quite good, actually. K9 is a deck that can be quite weak to removal. Like if they start playing with like Jokul or Noroi or something, and you have like the Cookie Yummy way to put 2 of them face down, that is a pretty good thing. But all right, K9 is potentially something that we're gonna have to talk about in a few weeks if it does release alongside Vanquisol. But for now, we are here in the top 16 of today's Challenger Cup, where a Molcharmy Fualos gets ashed once more. So we activate pre-prep, and we're basically gonna go first uninterrupted so far because we get to ignore the Molcharmy. Haji is resolving. There's Mitsurugi Ritual. We tribute Habakiri for Murakumo. That already is a little bit. It's not weird, but it's an indicator that it might not be pure Mitsurugi. Because in pure Mitsurugi, more often than not, you play this line a little bit differently, where you summon from hand first by like tributing Kusanagi from the deck. This is an indicator for, I would say, Mitsurugi Yami here. Because Mitsurugi Yami might not always play Kusanagi. How do people join this tournament? All right, so for Challenger Cups in general, there is a central Discord server. All the tournaments are completely free to enter, and there is pricing for it, like exclusive Challenger Cup merch and accessories, because the tournaments are officially hosted by Konami. So there is you can go !Challenger Cup in my chat. There is a command for it to join the EU server for Challenger Cups, and then there, if you are in the server, you can just join the individual tournaments via Discord. All right, and there's the confirmation. It is Mitsurugi Yami.
Anything else you need? Later.
And we do use that Nibiru on that Camellia. We don't want to deal with the Engage here, because the Engage would also, I think, have drawn a card. Yeah, we had 3 spells in the graveyard. Now, the dangerous thing here is, of course, there is still a Mitsurugi Prayers in hand, so at the very minimum, we have that, but we can also turn that Nibiru token into a Link Spider and keep going, and we haven't normal summoned yet, so this is a very early position to be forced to nib, and now we make the Link Spider, we special a Yami, and we keep going. All right, or we normal summon a Yami, I guess. That also works. The things you get to do in a Yu-Gi-Oh deck when you just ash the most, huh? Oh, we had cross out as well. Why not? Didn't even need to cross out the Nibiru. That is kind of sad.
Can I just auto?
Might not even play Nibiru for cross out to keep there. We do place the Yami field spell from hand there. We have drawn it. How utterly unfortunate.
Oh, right.
This deck does always tend to draw one or
I'll
two
count it.
not so useful cards because it plays a lot of them. But I think we can live with the fact that that's a little -1 here with the field spell in hand. We've got enough cards going for us. And the opponent has basically already thrown 2 cards away without really achieving anything, right? The Nibiru didn't achieve much, and the Fualos just got negated. And I do think that is just not enough cards here, really, to deal with that board that Yami Mitsurugi is about to make here. We just don't have the resources to play with that. There's the Arc Light. Yami Surprise. Bring back Marshmallow. Now Marshmallow is going to bring back the Surprise. What happened in the Unchained match? Unchained won, but I think Draco Tail timed out. and they made some weird decisions on the last turn, which I think was because they were so close to time. I think they made some very hasty decisions because the timer was running low, and then they ended up timing out. So not sure who would have won if they had more time available, but I mean, that is something you have to be able to manage, so it is what it is. All right, here's Sprite Elf. And there's prayers. Ooh, we're gonna make Baron the Fleur. Probably. Urakumo destroys the Nibiru. All right, so the sets are surprise, and I think the other one is unknown. Because they used the prayers. Well, yeah, 4 cards against Baron, Elf, Herald of the Arclight, and Yummy Surprise is not very light. All right, we start with Marshmallow Yummy. They chain Sprite Elf to revive the Cupsy Yummy Way. To activate the Snatchy effect, because that's just gonna let the opponent tag out the Cupsy Yummy Way. The problem is just like, if you don't activate the Snatchy, you're gonna have to commit another card from hand to even keep playing here. So here's special summon Lollipop, I guess. Make a synchro now, but I mean, here's the, okay, you make a synchro now, then you activate the effect. Let's say you make your own Cupsy to search to. Your opponent can search, can change Cupsy to tag out, but then they can also tag out, but then that gets negated by Herald. It's a very, very bad exchange here for the player going second. There's Cookie Yummy Way, which cannot target the Baron or the Herald, so it doesn't feel like it does much. They're just gonna tag out the Cupsy. And if you chain the cookie, then that gets negated and you have no more monsters on the field, so. Goodbye, Marshmallow. Going to the battle phase here. So I guess we're gonna make our own cookie now to try and set the opponent's cookie face down. That's gonna force the cookie to tag out, and then we negate the tag out, and then the board is in. Now, the crazy part is they haven't even gotten close yet to cracking that board. There's still so much left on this board. There's a Baron, an Elf, a cookie that can tag out, and there's still 2 face down. There is so many interruptions left. That there's no two cards in the game.
Okay.
I think that
Let's
we
hear
could
it.
have
Anything
here.
else? So, what do you want? You're ordering. Order up.
I cannot join the tournament. Yeah, that's because
Later.
it has already started. It started like a while ago. You can join future tournaments, but not the one that's going on. You can't just go, yeah, top 16 now, I'm in. Yeah, why not? I'll take part in your top 16. Thank you for asking. All right, Yamimitsu wins the game going first. Who would have thought?
Not
All right.
bad. Sure.
And the ash on the Molcharmi definitely was purple.
Keep at it, all right?
They had cross out anyways.
What do you need?
Yes, but at the same
What will
time,
you do?
that is kind of like my entire argument. Is that those two cards are very similar in what they do in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! That's basically exactly what I've been saying, is that those two cards are very interchangeable. Is this with the current list or the upcoming list? This is the current list.
Done. Was there
Since
something
Challenger
else?
Cups are official tournaments, they always use the current
Farewell.
restrictions, basically.
Welcome. The guest book is here. Have a nice day.
Let's see if we can get away with
All
this.
right, now here we haven't really found out what version of Yami Agorni is playing. This could have been pure Yami from all we've seen, but it could also very well just be... Oh wait, no, we did see a pre-prep, didn't we? Yeah, it's Mitsuyami. Yeah, right. We discard mirror. We did see the pre-prep, I think, in the last game. All right, so it's a Mitsuyami versus Mitsuyami matchup. Who is our Unchained Soldier? Khan was their username. I didn't want to spectate the same player twice in a row. That's why we're doing other players, but I also really want to know if they're able to make it into the top 8 with Unchained. We can check out their replay. If they're still playing after this match, we can go and check it out. Herald of the Arclight in the extra monster zone. I wonder what that means. Oh wait, we don't have to go there. We just link it up. Oh, we do the Striker thing as well? No, we make Strike Elf with it. Okay, that's awesome. That's new. controller has been obsolete. Oh, do they not even play it anymore? I know there's lines with the Sky Striker cards instead that a lot of people have been preferring. So they've kind of like replaced Zombie Vampire and Gravity Controller sometimes with the Sky Striker cards, which I think is fair enough, I guess. I can see that being better. Zombie Vampire felt like Coke. I mean, they did play it in the TCG a lot because they didn't have the option to play the Sky Striker card, and I think on average it did the job. Of course, there were some games where you would miss it, but I think it was good enough to see consistent play in TCG. But like in Master Duel, I guess that we have the Sky Striker option, which basically does it all the time and more consistently. Yeah, maybe it's just better. I do like the fact that Zombie Vampire also reveals to you what your opponent is playing most of the time, unless you just hit like Born On Engine. But of course, there's also a risk attached to it. If your opponent is playing a deck with some graveyard effect, then it could be a problem there. But yeah. Hello, Baron the Fleur. How did they put the mirror back? I think they discarded it, or they discarded it earlier, and then they put it back when they tributed it. All right, Herald of the Arclight back into the extra deck. Activate Yummy Surprise. The import is so strong. It's so strong.
Let's go.
Okay, both the Baron and the Herald are targetable. I guess that's nice. I don't know if that helps or not, but probably doesn't. All right, we make IP Masquerena as well, it looks like. That's why we're leaving that zone open. Yep, there's IP Masquerena. Yep. 3 sets, Baron, Herald, Futsu, Elf, IP, set Yummy Surprise for the full batch of Yummy interruptions.
Oh wow, I've never fought these guys before.
Not even Habakiri breaks this board. Not even Habakiri. With Mitsurugi Ritual, we try to ritual summon from the deck. We negate that with Herald of the Arclight. One Dark Ruler breaks this? No, they have the Mitsurugi Purification, I'm pretty sure, to negate Dark Ruler. All right, one negate gone. 6 cards left in hand. One of them is Habakiri. Free prep, also a good one. Activate Mitsurugi Mirror. We negate that with Baron the Fleur. Do we have a second copy of Mitsurugi Ritual? No, but we have Marshmallow. You know what? Doesn't even matter. That doesn't even matter. It's funny, but that doesn't even make a difference here. But yep, that is also a thing here. All right, cool. We couldn't chain it to the Habakiri because Herald of the Arclight was on the field. But okay, Marshmallow gets summoned, and now Futsu. Oh yeah, good. All right, good. That was the that was what tipped over the screen. All right. My game even took a moment to process that information. Okay, wait, it's 1-1. I forgot to do the thing. I think it's 1-1. That was game 2, right? We watched one game 2 for those two. Sigourney versus Rihanna versus Sigourney. Yeah, that was good. I just forgot to update the score. And now Ryamu will try to do the same thing. Normal summon Ghost Bell is not ideal though. And we do have a Maxi from the other side. We have Cross out. All right, mini gamer. We make Al Mirage, and that is probably all to special summon a Yummy from the hat. Yep, there's Lollipop. This card is Roll and Lockbird. So we opened Roll and Bell and Cross out. Lots of non-engine here, but as long as you have a Yummy name, they are good to go, and they can pivot into Mitsurugi still with this. So they are completely fine here, depending on what kind of interaction a Gordy still has in hand. If there's no further interaction, then this game is probably going to look pretty similar to what happened in the last game, but just the other way around. Something. Is it Bell? But Bell does nothing here. It's funny because they are using Surprise here to get the Marshmallow back so they can make a link 2 with the Herald, so the Herald goes to the grave and they can search Habakiri. That's the whole purpose. But if Agori now activates Bell to prevent that, then the Herald negates that and then still goes to the grave and searches Habakiri. So there's no winning in that exchange.
Welcome. Oh, of course. I'll take those. I'll take good care of them. Ah, Could I thank you very much?
Oh, you. Anything else you need? You're ordering. Order up. Later. What do you need? Consider this carefully.
Damn, they're all 33.
Alright, now Herald goes to grave. Habakiri is in hand. Then we're probably gonna use the Samsara Sorrow Cat to recycle the Herald, to remake it, but not yet.
Right.
Welcome. Good night, then. The guest book is here.
Wait, it's not pure? Nope.
Have a nice day.
There is a ghost bell, but that feels very minimal. I mean,
Welcome.
it is going to stop Herald of the
Please come
Arclight
again.
on the end board, but they're also going to be able to chain Lollipo here, so they gain
Oh,
card advantage
you.
from this. If we have a Nibiru as well, and we really held it all the way until here, then that Nibiru could do something. But even that, it's not gonna like end the turn. We still have the Mitsurugi plays, and as soon as a Mitsurugi monster hits the board, are you gonna have to Nibiru? Because they threaten Baron the Fleur now. Like as soon as the level 8 is on the field, they could make Baron. So it's like, do you really Nibiru the Murakumo now? But then it comes back and searches? I don't know. The Nibiru, that's the crazy thing, right? The Nibiru doesn't even... It doesn't do it here. It would be good after this mirror. After this mirror resolves, summoning back the Habakiri, if the Murakumo comes back, if you have Nibiru now, it's a different story. Oh wait, no, you can chain Snatchy to make Baron now, right? Couldn't you have done that? Couldn't they have chained Snatchy to make Baron before the Murakumo comes back? Alright.
How long have you been here? You heard nothing?
So the bell didn't do nothing because we
Then I'll
did
get back
prevent
to work.
the Herald of the Arclight on the end board, so it traded with one negate, which is okay, I guess. But we still only have, we're gonna have 4 cards to deal with this, which is almost, at this point, it's almost mathematically impossible to do this with 4 cards. Because Baron takes out 1, Murakumo forces a discard. The Yummy cards, there's an IP Masquerade and a
piss,
Sprite
dude.
Elf. There is
Grinding.
players in hand and maybe even a Great Purification. We didn't search it, but we had the option to and didn't, so they likely already have it. So I think it's almost mathematically impossible
not a
to
head
beat this
steal.
this board with 4 cards. It's not even that bad here, funnily enough. Like, it's not a bad card here on this turn, because there would be a lot of things special summoning on the opponent's turn, but I think they're destroying. Look what I drew. Look what I got. Or was it a second copy? Oh, it was a second copy. They maybe already had it, but the first one got negated, so they couldn't use the second one. Don't worry, that's not gonna happen anymore in 2 weeks. You can't draw 2 Maxis anymore in 2 weeks. Maybe your last time ever drawing 2 Maxis. So cherish that moment or not. Up to you. So now we've got 3 cards. Masquerena here. I mean, I guess you want the Murakumo engrave anyways, so that you can make you can use prayers to bring it back. That's fine. SP on Saji, we don't tribute. So now Cupsy gets chained. Droplet gets chained. Then 2. That's gonna negate pretty much just the Baron. Topsy still tags out into some yummies. Into Lollipo and another Cupsy. Prayers resolves. To grab Habakiri, but Habakiri, do we have ritual spell in hand? No, the Saji grabbed prayers. So we don't know the last card in hand. If it's the ritual spell, I guess you could resolve it at least, but I don't think it would win. Oh, we don't search, we just summon? Bring back Saji. We can take out the Sprite Elf from the end board. We've done it. We've done it. Good job. The Sprite Elf has been outed. I mean, honestly, can't blame them. What are you doing? That board is not breakable with 4 cards. I told you earlier. It was look, Droplet is a really good card against this deck, but like mathematically they just did not have enough cards to deal with the amount of interruptions that were presented there. There was no realistic way to do that. Even if there was cards like Dark Ruler involved, I don't think there was a realistic way to do it. Alright, the Baron negate is for whatever card in hand that might be. So we just turn everything to attack mode, and that will be enough. We bring Ryabu into the top 8, coming out on top of this Mitsurugi Yami mirror match. Unchained duel? We can check. This was a pretty long best of 3, so I kind of doubt that they're still playing, but maybe. Nope. If you want, we can check out the replay of the Unchained duelist real quick of whatever it was. We can see what happened. All right, since we're watching the replay, we got the hands here. We've got Unchained going first here. We have an Ash Blossom onto this Fiendsmith track. We've got Sharvara, Shiyama, Talents, and Escape. So we can, I think we can take a look at the hand, right? Because we've got Sharvara plus Trap. That is combo. We put back Rahu. Sharvara on Escape. Escape summons Aruha. We make a link 2. Moon of the Close 7. Sharvara sets the other trap that we don't have yet. We go into Fiendsmith. We go through the motions. Do we make Yama first? No, we make Fiendsmith sequence first. That makes Aerial Ether. Aerial Ether sends Buyo. Buyo grabs Mutiny in the Sky. Mutiny in the Sky shuffles back 3 to make the Dusks dark. Now we make Yama. I wonder why we want to make this as an N4 piece turn 1 going first. Because it only protects from card effects in the left and rightmost monster zone. Doesn't seem that important. Okay. Shiyama destroys Aruha. We bring out a Sharvara from the deck. We make Caesar. That alone already beats the Draco Tail hand. And then Soul of Rage. And we pass with no traps on the board either. Okay. Ghost Spell off the top. But what are you going to do? I guess Typhon, but Typhon just gets removed by Soul of Rage, so nothing to do here. Draco Tail Horn on Soul of Rage. We've drawn a Sharvara to dodge that, and Unchained takes down Draco Tail. Honestly, one reason why they might be here in this tournament with Unchained and now have made their way into the top 8 actually could just be that Caesar is really good against Draco Tails. Who would have thought? Who could have thought that the card that negates 2 cards that summon is really good against the fusion summoning archetype? Interesting. Interesting. Alright, let's go and check one last game out. They don't have much time left, so I'm jumping in from now. But they have about 4 minutes left before it is overtime. So let's see what the game state we're working with here is. Draco Tail has gone first, is down in life points. We're in turn 4. Looks like they are in a pretty commanding spot, but there's only 4.5 minutes left and they are behind in life points right now, so they gotta be worried about that a little bit. It is a Draco Tail mirror match. Draco Tail Horn gets hit with an Ash Blossom. There's 2 cards left in hand. Normal summon Cartesia. And we make a desperate Typhon in attack mode. I guess Draco Tail Horn has been used. Wait. Oh, the other side used Horn. I was confused for a second. Okay, we make Typhon. We get Horned. Looks like a win for our player on the red side here. There's enough time left to do some damage. Get to Draco Tail, last card in hand. Get to Draco Tail Flame. Not that it would have done much, honestly, because if it's the only card you have, you cannot perform a fusion summon with it. So Draco Tail Flame is going to be the end of it here. There's 3.5 minutes left. That should be more than enough to attack for some damage here. And we've got our next top 8 duelist lined up here, looks like. activate Ketu Draco Tail. They've got 3 minutes left, so they can probably afford going for game here. At the same time, if you perform a fusion summon here, the opponent does get to trigger their Arthalion in the graveyard, so maybe you're adding unnecessary amounts of time to this game. And they do agree, they just go battle phase just to get the damage in. I mean, this position is super giga winning. So putting the opponent down to 400, whatever, going to the end phase. I don't think there is a singular card you can draw here to turn this around. Even a play like Ketu Draco Tail will not do it, because you don't even have 2 fusion materials. Lucius might sound like a great draw here, but Draco Tail is not a one-card combo deck, so Lucius does not actually do anything, because you cannot activate this 5 mana with just one monster other than itself. So this is going to be a win for 45 RFU. And we trade Lucius, and we go in for game with the Gulamel. All right.
I'll take
Draco
those.
Tail.
We had some new things come in.
Comes out on top in a Draco Tail mirror match. Who would have guessed? And we've got another duelist who made it into the top
that turned
8.
out pretty
Okay.
nice.
Like I said, time is very low on the round, so I think all the matches should be finished, and we will be moving on to the top 8 very shortly.
Let's hear
so hope everyone is having a good time so far. We're gonna jump into that Unchained Duelists match for top 8, I think, because I want to learn a little bit more about how that's made it so far. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back in a few minutes. Just gonna grab some water real quick. It should not be a long break since we already have reached overtime. So see you guys in a few minutes for the
Then let's start.
top 8.
Let's hear it. Then let's start. Later.
What do you need?
We've started with 128 players. We are down to
Is there
just
something
8.
else?
And one of them
Farewell.
is an Unchained Duelist. So let's jump right in and follow that match in the top 8, where we have Unchained on the side of Khan. Let's see if they have it, what it takes to make it into the top 4. They are going second here. Against Draco Tail, what it looks like, which should be, in theory, a decent matchup for Unchained, because DDD Wave High King Caesar is very strong against Draco Tail. But of course, going second might not be able to make that in time, as we resolve Cartesia using off
What do you need?
Lulu and Phimena. A really good start for Draco Tail. No one playing DDD? Haven't seen anyone today, no. We've only seen Caesar. Alright, so the sets that we choose are Rahu and Flame, Mululu and Phimena back to the hand. We are not locked into fusions yet, so depending on the version of the deck, we will probably see a Link summon first. Since we're not using Cartesia to make Spirit, I assume it's branded Draco Tail, so we're making Verte here. Yep. Don't pretend you're not happy about that. I have never pretended I was not happy. But I don't have to say it all the time when you all know it. Anyways.
Farewell.
All right,
Oh,
Gulamel
you. So,
and Nibiru.
what do you want?
Urgula and Nibiru make Gulamel. Says it all the time anyways. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I'll say it.
You're ordering right. Okay.
Sometimes I'll say it.
Items, huh? All right.
We all know Josh enjoys skillful decks like Runic, Paleo, and Tenpai. All right, there's
I'll keep
one
an eye on
odd
him.
one out, and I'll leave it to your imagination to guess which
I'll
one.
keep an eye
but
on
I will not tell you.
All right.
These three are not the same. One is different from the others.
Here.
And I will not take your rage bait. I will not take your rage bait right now. I will not. Nope. It does not affect me.
Later.
It does not affect me. You know what I mean? And you also know I'm right. End of discussion.
Let me know if you need anything. The guest book is here.
All right. It is Unchained, and Fiendsmith Crack is met with Dracotail Flame, which I think is pretty good use of the Flame because might not have many other spells going on in Unchained. I think we've seen talents earlier, but that's about it. Like the Unchained plays themselves don't really work with spells a lot of the
Have a
time.
nice day.
Now, I guess one advantage for Dracotail for Unchained in this matchup is that the pops don't matter that much, right? Gulamel
What do you need?
and that is something that you can probably deal with. On the other hand, though, Dracotail Horn seems pretty
Registering.
good on
Done.
like Yama as soon as it's summoned.
Farewell.
But sometimes you have ways to dodge that. But oh, we use the horn preemptively here. Buyo says negate the effects and if you do special summon this card, which means that because the Aruha is going to be gone, the Buyo will not summon. But we do have Sharvara to dodge the horn. We're going to destroy the Aruha. The Buyo is going to stay in hand because there's nothing it can negate. But the Sharvara is still going to pop the Aruha, and that's going to trigger in the graveyard. So we are still on the board here for Unchained at least, but there's still interruptions left. We have Ash Blossom on the Aruha in the grave, and that's tough. We have Thrust. Okay. There's no more Ash and no more Flame. So Thrust can help. Let's see what we find or what we grab. But can we grab an extender here is the question, right? We've used Fiendsmith Cracked already. We can get Talons, but what does Talons really do, right? Looking at hand will not extend for us. Taking a monster, don't know how much that does if you're not taking a Fiend. We could get Mutiny in the Sky. I guess, yeah. We could get Mutiny in the Sky. But we don't have much going on yet in the graveyard in terms of fusion material, so I don't know how much that does. Alright, Talon's Take is the option. We let it resolve. So we probably take Sanctifier. Yep, Sanctifier gets taken. And now we link 2 into Moon of the Closed Heaven. I guess that's something we can do, yeah. And now Sharvara activates, but Moon, there's no way Moon stays here, right? Moon never gets through. Yeah, Gulamel just pops Moon, so. Push through. Unchained, probably strong in the Dracotail matchup going first, but going second against the full setup here, definitely showing some problems for Unchained. But that was just game number 1. There is a chance for them to come back. It's not over until it's over. It's probably not the first time they've lost the game today. Let's see how game number 2 goes.
The guest book is here. Have a nice day.
Would Yama have been better? Well, they couldn't make Yama, right? Because Yama, I'm pretty sure Yama needs 2 fiends. So couldn't do that because Talons couldn't take a fiend monster. All right, now we've got Unchained going first. We start things off with Fiendsmith Engraver into Tract. I guess the most important thing is that you try to dodge Mold Charmy Fualos and Maxi with Unchained because those cards are really, really good against it. Fable Lurie activates, and there is a Maxi. Uh-oh, step 1, have an out to Maxi. Ash Blossom, let's go. Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom and the player going first winning. Name a better duo. Anyways, negate Maxi, bring back Lurie. Make Requiem. Lacrima. Now, how does this bridge into Unchained? You just make Yama, right? But is there anything else? Are we just making Aerial Ether here? Yeah, we're making Aerial Ether sending Buyo? I think. Oh no, we're sending a trap card. Okay, with Carvara. Okay. And then we go Yama to search another Sharvara. That's at 2 in Masterful or 3, right? It's at 3, yeah. So we get, oh no, we have a normal summon. We can just grab Aruha. That's also a special summon though. Never mind, don't mind me. Yeah, Aruha effect on the set now.
Could I help you with anything else? Thank you very much.
Now activate that.
You.
Summon out Sarama.
what do you
Sarama
want?
can reset the trap, pop the Aruha.
Right. Okay. Later.
Ooh, are we in Nib range? I mean, long time ago. There is a response window for Draco Tail, but nothing they wanted to use yet, I guess. Mysterion,
Good night, then.
Mysterion is really good
guest
against
book is
Unchained,
here.
is something I'm realizing. Mysterion is very,
have a nice
very,
day.
very powerful against this deck. Unless you have a Sharvara in hand ready to go and dodge it, it's probably gonna end your turn. Okay, Nibiru is here, and it is big, it feels like, because we're not going to be able to bring the Shayama back because there's nothing to pop. I'm pretty sure it has to pop successfully to do it. Yep. We just have a token and a trap. We do have Thrust, though. That's good. Can either look at hand or maybe keep going somehow. We grab Talents. We do look at hand. Oh, that's a good hand. That's bad news. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good news at all. Yeah, Ketu back, but Branded Fusion is still waiting for you. Okay, we haven't normal summoned yet. We haven't normal summoned yet. Destroy the set card that triggers Yama. We can keep going, actually. Hold up.
Welcome.
Hold
oh,
up.
Of course. I'll take those.
Bring back Unchained Soul of Rage.
I'll take good care of
Buyo is the last
anything?
card
Thank
in
you very
hand. Wait,
much.
that's big. I'm pretty sure that's big. That does a
What
lot.
do you need?
At least I think so.
Was there something else? Farewell. Oh, you.
right, we link them off into Moon of the Closed Heaven.
You're ordering. Order up.
Uyo
Anything
now
else you
adds Mutiny in the Sky. We can make Luce the
Doing
Dusk
this, then?
Dawn and destroy the Nibiru. Send any
All right.
fiend from deck to grave. Is that anything? That is
Here.
3. I believe that does make that card. Yup. There it is.
Here.
Now we send any fiend or fairy
Here.
from deck to grave.
Here. Here. Here.
But what can we send here that really helps us extend? Like the main thing here is I think we need Caesar for the branded fusion. But at the moment we have 0 level 6s. We have Aerial
Anything else
Eater
you
in the
need?
grave, which I think can come back by banishing. You'd have to banish both engravers.
Grimoires, right? You want to equip?
But that is just 1 level 6. Have we used Engraver Graveyard Effect? I think so. Yeah. Agnum Day. Wait, Agnum Day is a level 6. But just that brings back Engraver. How do we bring back Aerial Eater now? We have to banish 2 with the same attribute. We don't have those. If we make Necroquip, maybe. If we play Necroquip, we can make Necroquip here and then banish both. No, we don't play Necroquip. Oh, no, Caesar is a problem. Oh, no, Caesar is a problem. I don't know if all of that was worth it. I think we got lost in the sauce a little bit. I think this was just make Caesar and win moment and not do the fancy Luce combos moment. Because now the branded fusion resolves and I don't know if we've got what it takes to beat branded fusion. I don't think so, honestly. Is there a line there to make Caesar? I'm pretty sure there was. I'm pretty sure there was a line to make Caesar.
What do you mean, Mara?
I mean, it's very simple, actually. This card can summon the Lacrima,
Oh.
the Fiendsmith's Lacrima.
Okay, that's actually pretty
And
cool.
that is Caesar. So
If
we
you're
just don't go
retiring
for the fancy
to...
big fusion, we can just get Caesar for free, basically, with this spell.
They'll show up here. But, it is kind of awkward, ain't
Okay,
it?
well, we do use the battle phase to run over the Unchained Soul of Rage, which is gonna give us a Sharvara in hand, which is not bad. And the battle phase is over, so we will get another turn. However, how much can we really do through this board? Because there's gonna be a lot of setup here from Draco Tail, most likely. Because we use Ketu, we resolve it, we get Pan. We fuse for 3. That's going to be an Arthalion. We are locked into fusion for the entire turn. But we can add back Frixel. Yeah, we add back Frixel and normal summon it. That's going to be a lot of card advantage. Maxi back to hand as well. Forgot about that one. That is also a thing. And Phimena. Chain Sharvara, pop the Engraver. There is Lacrima the Crimson Tears in the graveyard, so we can bring back the Agnum Day. And because we didn't use Arthalion, honestly, I would have really liked to use Arthalion on this, because now we actually cannot destroy anything with Pan because they're both left and rightmost monster zone. So we cannot get rid of these with the pan. And also this now activates because we destroyed something with the Sharvara, so we can pop the Rahu. It might not be over. It might not be over. We have both of those on the board that are very hard to get rid of here, because you also cannot pop it. Even if they can make Gulamel, they can't pop them because they can't be destroyed by card effects. And we have Lacrima in the grave for Fiendsmith follow-up. We have the Fiendsmith himself in the graveyard for Fiendsmith follow-up. We've got Shayama in the grave, we've got Aerial Eater in the grave, we've got Tract in the grave, and we've got 2 monsters on the board already for Unchained plays. This might actually be more Unchained favored than I thought. Or like, rather, I think it's more so, I think they underestimated how important it was to return this to the extra deck with the Arthalion. I think there was no reason to bounce so many cards for yourself. On the other hand, counter argument, there's a Maxi in hand. So, yeah. But hey, maybe we draw Ash or Called By. Actually, Called By wouldn't work because there's a Sanctifier. It has to be Ash or Cross Out. Can't they just make Mysterion with 5 mana? Mysterion is an option here. Yes, they do have Dragon and Spellcaster available, so they're gonna have to be careful about that, which I'm not sure if they have the luxury to play around Mysterion here with how little cards they have. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right, Luce for Frixel, trying to destroy it, to send a Fiend or Fairy from deck to grave, and it does work. Send Sharvara from deck to grave, activate Sharvara to get a free Unchained spell trap. That's going to be Abominable Chamber. And now we activate Sequence. And I guess that's the question, right? Do you just chain 5 mana here to make Mysterion? First things first, we're going to chain Maxi. And we're going to chain 5 mana. And we're going to chain Albion the Sanctifier Dragon. Because we want, I think we want a Spellcaster back. I think we want a Spellcaster so that we can make Mysterion here. I think that's what they're trying to do. I think the Frixel may have been the last Spellcaster they had. So they're going to try to revive a Spellcaster with the Albion here. And we're going to give our opponent a Maxi too. Isn't that nice? So both have a Maxi, so now it's fair. Right? Right? All right, Frixel and Pan. And that is Mysterion material. Yep, there it is. Mysterion the Dragon Crown. And I don't know if Sequence can summon anything that can dodge this. Like, it looks like it's making a Desiree. But Desiree has no equips, so it cannot negate the Mysterion. And now we draw 1 for Maxi. We trigger Mysterion, target Desiree. And I think this is game ending if there's no way to dodge it. I think this straight up ends the game because we banished the entire field except for the Maxi, but we can destroy that with Pat. Yeah, we're resolving the chain. Nothing to dodge that Mysterion. That's gonna banish all 4 monsters, all 4 fiends.
I should get
Destroying
my
the
skills
Maxi
first.
with Pan, and goodbye fiend monsters. And I think, unfortunately, the run for Unchained, it was a good run all the way into the top 8 for this Challenger Cup, but I think it ends here in in the top 8. We have a little bit of stuff left in the tank. We have a Shayama in the grave that could have popped the trap card now, but we do use Draco Tail Sting here to preemptively banish the Shayama, and that is usually a one of, so that's gonna be tough as well. I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen the card that they drew, but Shayama and Mutiny get banished here, and they would need a really, really good draw here to stay in this. Let's see. It is Thrust for Talons, so that's 2 cards, technically. Oh no, we go Abomination's Prison. We go for the guaranteed play. Okay, Abomination's Prison is gonna search for an Unchained card. That's gonna be Aruha. That can pop the trap. Okay, it is plays. It is plays. Is it gonna be enough to win? We're gonna have to wait and see, but we are under max C, so I kind of don't know if that's enough. But I mean, maybe they just never draw Nibiru. Who knows? Maybe they never draw Nibiru. They've already used Phimena, so they can't draw that. 1 Nibiru's in the graveyard. You know, maybe. Maybe, just maybe. There is already something. There is already some response window. So it could be Bell here, could be Valor, could be the Nibiru already. I don't know if they summoned 5 times at this point. All right, we reset the other trap. We haven't used that one yet to summon from the deck, so we're gonna activate that here. Gonna bring out Unchained Soul of Disaster. Not use the effect just yet. Instead, we're making Yama. And we get more and more draws on the other side, making it less and less likely that this is going to be a win. We have an effect Valor for the Yama. And there's also another Nibiru, and I think that's now it, you know? Without the Max C, maybe there was a chance, but with the Max C, unfortunately not able to do it here for Unchained. Truly one of the worst decks to get Max C'd with, but it was a good run. But ultimately here, it ends in the top 8. It is what it is. You know, in 2 weeks, there's one less Max C at least. There's Secretarion Dragon. Just going through the motions here. I mean, technically the Nibiru token is pretty big, but there's a lot of ways to get rid of it. There's Pan, there's Arthalion. There's Gulamel. Basically can't go wrong here. Lucius and Cartesia are probably gonna make Gulamel or Arthalion. Yep, I mean, they have to make Gulamel or Arthalion. Rahu. And then Arthalion is going to return that token. Lucius is gonna set a trap for good measure, but that is way more than enough damage to bring Draco Tail into the top 4. Setting Ketu. And then we just go to the battle phase. Nothing in the graveyard here for Unchained that stops this. No Lacrima that can summon back a Fiendsmith Link or something, but just a clean win for Draco Tail. Should have prioritized that Wave Hiking Caesar, I guess, on the first turn. That could have made a difference here, but it's neither here nor there. We've made a board. It was honestly still a close game, and without that Max C, I could see them win in that spot, but you know, it was there, so it is what it is. Okay, Unchained out in top 8. let's jump into table 3, GGZO versus FSN Boss. Let's see what the score is real quick. There's a win for GGZO here, and that's it. All right, currently 1-0 for GGZO. Let's go ahead and check what's going on there. Well, top 8 for me, I guess. I mean, it is a pretty sick achievement with Unchained still, to be honest. I respect it. Ooh, that's not a great opener. Is that a Malice deck? It looks like a classic Malice opener. Ash Blossom on Lucius. Activate Ketu Draco Tail, add 5 mana, so the Ash Blossom does not stop them from playing here, unless there's an Impulse as well, maybe. There's Max C, though. And that does resolve, should be the biggest deal for Draco Tail. We have an Urgula in hand as well, that is perfect. Gonna summon Arthalion and also force that back row with that Urgula, force or activate both of those graveyard effects as well. So we're gonna have 2 traps next turn for sure. The set is Malice TB11. I told you it was a classic Malice opener. We have a Max C on the other side as well. Dude, it feels like Max C is really showing up today. You know, I mean, I know it's at 2 and everyone plays it, so it's not that unrealistic that we're gonna see it a decent amount, but I feel like it's everywhere today, like one last showing while it's at 2. I feel like everyone's been having it today, like everyone. We deal 5,800 damage here to Malice. 2,200 life points left is still plenty. Last turn they didn't have a play. However, they've drawn some new cards. They go for Druid Worm in the end phase, which draws multiple cards for the Max C here that's active. But it does get them a decent amount of board presence going into their turn, so maybe that's worth it. That is another Max C. What did I just say? It's everywhere today. Cyanide Mining. That's a perfect target for Draco Tail Flame, if you ask me. Ooh, we've got the Self-Droll. That seems very desperate in this spot. That's normally something very powerful that Malice can do, but when you're this low on cards against this many cards, I don't know if that's great here. All right, Draco Tail Horn onto the Lingeribo. Chain March here. Chain Phimena to make Mysterion? Already? Just for the March here. I mean, I guess it stops them from activating the White Rabbit. They just can't activate it. If they do, you just don't activate Mysterion and then banish both. But yeah, this game is over. GWC is the last trap they have. March here can still activate, and they can still normal summon. But does that do it? I don't think so. We make Lingeribo again. We can make SP now. Maybe hold on to some hope. We're very low on life points though, but we've got SP here and Druid Worm both triggering. SP is gonna banish the follow-up spell. But Arthalion, I mean, they have basically game on the board, right? If they just attack the SP with Arthalion, that is enough damage. So not much there to do next turn. And the set is GWC, which shouldn't prevent any of this. Yep. Okay. And Malice still capable of making it all the way into the top 8 of today's tournament in the hands of Boss, but is eliminated here because they opened with no play in this top 8 match. It actually looks like we might be looking at a preemptive ending to the top 8 here. There's still a little bit of time left on the clock, but it seems like all the matches are finished. So, looks like we should be moving on to the top 4 a little bit earlier than expected, which is nice to see. So we're back with the semifinals in just a couple minutes. Let me just go ahead and have a quick break before we continue with our semi-finals. We'll at least have had one feature match over the course of the stream, and also to find out the last deck in the mix, because I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the other 3 are all Draco Tail. TGZO was Draco Tail, Congo Bongo was Draco Tail, and I believe 45 RFU was also Draco Tail. Looks like Cat is on pure Mitsurugi, however. That's cool to see. The first one we're seeing today. And you know what that means? It means, once again, no Yummy in top 4. The second Challenger Cup in a row since Yummy introduction, no Yummy in top 4. Unless I'm misremembering one of the Duelists decks. Unless I'm misremembering what one of them was playing, but okay. Mitsurugi Ritual resolves, but Max C also resolves. So we're gonna have to settle for a little bit of a half board here. We're summoning Murakumo, we're searching Great Purification, we're setting a couple of cards, and we're passing over the turn. You know, could be better, could be worse. And of course, the fact that we have Murakumo on the board is really cool. If the opponent tries to go for a Femena here, they're gonna have to discard a card. So they're gonna have to wait and see or decide whether that's even worth it here. They are gonna do it. They have the Femena and the Max C combination that is so dangerous. Gonna force them to discard a card for this Femena though. So it's gonna be a costly fusion summon, but it could still be worth it. We discard Urgula. Okay, well, that means we have another Urgula in hand. I can tell you that much. That would otherwise be the one you would never discard. Yep, there's another Urgula in hand. Urgula and Frixel are gonna make an Arthalion, and this game is looking really, really good for Draco Tail already, because one really good thing against Mitsurugi is returning Murakumo that's properly summoned back to their hand. What that does is, once the Murakumo returns from the field to the hand, it is no longer treated as a properly summoned Murakumo. Therefore, you can't like special summon it with prayers or anything like that, right? If it's properly summoned and goes to the graveyard, you can bring it back with prayers, etc., but not if it's in your hand. So if you choose the Murakumo here, it would go back to hand and they would have to resummon it. But it looks like they're actually leaving the Murakumo on the board. That is interesting. And usually when I say interesting, it just means that I would have done it differently, but I guess I also don't know the last card in their hand. Because also the thing is, like, bouncing the Murakumo back to the hand would have also turned off the Great Purification that you know they have, which they have to tribute a ritual for, but if you return it to the hand, they don't have one. But I guess we'll see. Maybe you hit it with the Urgula, and then you don't have to worry about that. Ah, never mind, there you go. But still, you know, Murakumo staying on the field is going to force you to discard again. They might tribute it for prayers, and then it can come back from the graveyard, and then I guess you can chain Sting to that, but then they have Great Purification to chain to that. It just gets messy, right? When you return the Murakumo to the hand with the Arthalion, there's nothing to worry about. And I mean, of course, they might be able to resummon it, but they're under Maxi, so you're going to draw more cards if they do that. So anyways, Draco Tail turn now. Murakumo is still vibing on the board, and there is a Great Purification in the graveyard, which could potentially be scary. There's a Kusanagi engraved that they can resummon with this. Can't use Purification with no monster on the field? Yeah. But you could do Purification first, tribute the Murakumo, and then if they sting, you chain prayers, for example. All right, that's only fair. We have a Maxi on the other side as well. A chain 5 mana? A chain 5 mana? Isn't Chain Murakumo really good here? Yeah, Chain Murakumo, you have to discard one, and then you can still use the Arthalion with the card in hand, I guess. This is awkward. This is really awkward, I think. This card, Retaliating Sea, was the draw for turn, which is understandable that that's in the deck with how much Draco Tail we've seen today. Funnily enough, Retaliating Sea isn't even bad against Yummy sometimes, because what you can do with Retaliating Sea against Yummy is when they go and activate Yummy Surprise to bring back Marshmallow, you can activate Retaliating Sea, which puts them under Macrocosmos basically, which is really good, but also it lets the surprise gets banished. And if the surprise gets banished, Marshmallow can't get it back, which means not only are they under Macrocosmos from that point on, but they also have a worse end board because surprise is gone, and that surprise is gone forever. In Yummy, there's no way to get it back from the banished pile. So that can be pretty neat. So Retaliating Sea is a pretty decent card in Master Duel right now. And of course, you can also use it against Mitsurugi because they have ritual spells that special summon. There's a lot of use cases for the card. It's good against Lunalight if you ever run into that as well. So I'm not surprised to see someone doing well with the Retaliating Sea today, to be honest. And it can actually prevent the Yummy player from being able to go into Mitsurugi with the Yummy cards, right? Because if they use Surprise before they make Herald of the Arclight, which might be the case in some combos, if they do that, they have no way to get the Herald in the graveyard with Retaliating Sea up. All right, Great Purification in the graveyard tributes Murakumo to bring back Kusanagi. We set Flame. We destroy the prayers with Urgula, which is good because this now means that we can sting the Murakumo without the prayers being able to bring it back. And also, if they target a spell with this Kusanagi, we could have used Sting on both the spell and the Murakumo, but of course that's why they target the Habakiri, which is heads up. We don't chain Sting. Am I tripping? They have Sting, no? They have Sting. They said Sting earlier. They have Sting. This is Sting. You're not stinging Murakumo? Okay. All right, goodbye Arthalion, I guess. And Murakumo stays in rotation for now.
Items, huh?
Phymena back to hand. I mean, we still
I'll
have
keep
a
an
lot
eye
of
on
cards here on the side of Draco Tail, but this game really felt more in Draco
Later.
Tail's favor when I saw, I mean, the Maxi resolved and they had Phymena
Welcome.
with 2 Draco Tail names. One of them was Urgula. And I feel like all they had to do was bounce the Murakumo to the hand and they would have had smooth sailing. But okay, I mean, it's cool. I think it's interesting because this showcases like how small decisions like that can really have a long-lasting impact on the game. And they might still win this game. It's not over yet, you know. It's not over till it's over. It just feels like this could have been so much easier. All right, Pan and Mululu for Rahu is still a really strong setup here, and we already know Flame and Sting face down that they could save for next turn. However, they are also under Max C, so this is going to give another card to Mitsurugi here. Is this Pure Mitsu? It looks like Pure Mitsu because it's playing Pot of Extravagance, so I would think so. They did open Pot of Extravagance. All right, Magatama was the last set, and we can chain Magatama here to tribute. The Murakumo can't come back from the graveyard if we tribute it, but I mean, these are going to get destroyed anyways by Pan and Malulu and Battle. So might as well take one of the opponent's cards down with them. However, you don't want to pop the Gulamel here, I think, because that would trigger the Pan in the grave. But that gives you more draws, I guess. However, this is now, I think there's an opportunity here to go for game for Draco Tail. This is why popping this Gulamel is dangerous, because what could happen now is you could go Pan, bring back Mululu. If the last card in hand is a monster, you can go Mululu effect, fuse with it, bring back Arthalion and Gulamel from the graveyard, attack for game. So if you don't have Nibiru in hand, or you don't draw Nibiru with those Max C draws, this could be game for Draco Tail, but they decide to not do that. They decide to not go for it. I think Phymena is in hand, so they had that option. They could have gone for it, but they decide against it here. They don't want to risk losing to the Nibiru, which is understandable, because their position is not bad. They have all 3 Draco Tail traps with Phymena in hand, which is a reasonable spot to be in. Habakiri has not been activated yet, so they can still do it, and they have Saji still in the deck, so this will get them a play. However, will a play be enough against Draco Tail Flame? Not guaranteed. It's really good if they have picked up like an Ash or a Bell from those Max C draws to deal with one of those traps. But like, even if you have a negate for Flame, Draco Tail Sting is also really good against Mitsurugi.
Here you go.
All right, we add prayers. We tribute Lucius. Ooh, that's big. That's big for Wosu in defense mode to play around Horn, I guess. Tributing the Lucius is actually bigger than it might seem here, because that was also very good fusion material for the Phymena. But that's why we can bring back this Gulamel now, I guess. That's also something we can fuse with.
Here you go.
But also triggering Habakiri in graveyard here to get the search is pretty neat.
Would you like to change here?
All right, we start things off with Mitsurugi Mirror. That's a pretty good bait for cards like Flame and Sting, because this doesn't feel like the highest priority thing to interact with. At the same time, if it does go through, it is really dangerous.
I'll take good care of them.
But the thing is, from Draco Tail
you
perspective here, you don't even know how good this mirror is, because they might not have a ritual in hand. If they don't have a ritual
you
in hand,
very
then you're
much.
distributing the Wosu on the field, which is not that good.
Oh, you.
But if they do have a ritual in hand, this mirror is really good.
Items, huh?
It does summon Murakumo, which is going to force a discard, and they do have
I'll
a
keep an eye
Murakumo
on
in
it.
hand, so that's really
Anything
strong.
else you need? Doing this then?
All right, Murakumo tributed to summon Murakumo.
So, what do you want?
In defense mode, once again, trying to respect that horn. I love this matchup. It gets so grindy here.
Later.
The problem is using the Murakumo on the field here is going to play into Pan. There's so many things to consider here. Pan, I actually don't even know if it's good to activate this Murakumo because Pan is going to give them so much card advantage after you destroy that Gulamel. They can just go Pan, bring back Lucius.
nice
Lucius
day.
searches another Pan or Urgula, and then the Phimena goes crazy because you have those cards. And there's Pan. Gonna bring back Mululu or Lucius. I think Lucius is more likely. Oh, Frixel. Oh, never mind. There's Frixel. That's even worse. That's even worse. That's crazy, that Frixel. I mean, that's just another card on top of Lucius or Mululu here.
Oh, come on. Do you understand?
Yeah, Mitsurugi being locked into reptiles from Bosu.
Oh,
Actually,
whoops.
I think it matters here. I think it quite matters here because you don't have options like SP Little Knight, Dynamondo, which could really help grinding against these back rows. But yeah, we discard the Phimena to resolve the Frixel. That's how good this Frixel is right now. Because the Lucius can just search another Phimena. And all of a sudden, just because we used Murakumo's effect to destroy the Gulamel, we've printed multiple cards for our opponent. And honestly, I think the situation would have been better if there was a Gulamel on the board with less cards in hand. But okay, Mitsurugi Ritual.
Welcome.
That's
The guest
probably
book
gonna
is
prompt
here.
Break Tail Flame. But
have a
honestly,
nice
maybe
day.
Flame, maybe you don't care about this because they have to summon in defense because of Horn. And maybe, honestly, maybe Prayers is the one that you're worried about more here. But okay, we flame the ritual. Fair enough. We get our draw. Gulamel back into the extra deck. Pre-prep. We used the mirror, so the pre-prep is now live.
Oh?
Wait, no, we played two mirrors. That's why pre-prep can't add mirror from grave. It has to add from deck. So we played two mirrors. Okay, well, Prayer's effect,
ya.
tribute Futsu. This is a good sting if I've ever seen one. Banishing the Futsu before it can search, which is usually a one of. I think this was maybe what you needed to flame. I think this Prayers is really good, but we'll see. I mean, they also, once again, maybe the extra bodies are not that big of a deal, but like getting back Kusanagi is basically like getting another ritual anyways if they want it. So like the flame stopping the ritual doesn't actually stop the ritual because Kusanagi, if they want to, can get it back. You get back Magatama. This is still game one, isn't it? I've lost all sense for time and space with how intense this game has been. Add another copy of Ritual. And we can still Ritual summon from hand. But you're not really converting this into any sort of pressure if you keep summoning everything in defense. Right? But like summoning one in attack now also doesn't help because that just opens up the horn. So yeah, once you start putting stuff in defense, you gotta continue putting stuff in defense, I guess. And we make Haggard Lizardos. And I think that's an offer that you can't refuse here. That's your Draco Tail horn. That is your horn target. Take it or leave it. They leave it. Okay. Banish Lamia. Draw a card. If this card is banished, target a reptile you control. It can't be destroyed by card effects until the end of... I've never seen anyone do this. I did not know it had that. Not that it matters here. Okay, what is this? Ragnarika Celine Snapper. You can banish up to 2 monsters from your grave, then target that many spell traps your opponent controls, destroy it. Wait, that's decent. Banish 2 from your grave to destroy that many. That's good. Not enough here because we played into the horn. But that, okay, interesting tech there. All right. In the meantime, the other match is already done. In the time that they finished this one game, the other match was a 2-0 for 45 RQ. So they're in the finals already. They're just waiting for their opponent now. These two have just used basically like half of the timer for this one game, but it is what it is, or more than half of the timer. Well, about half of the timer. All right, well, it is 1-0 for Draco Tail here. So let's see if Pure Mitsurugi, it was quite the match though. Pure Mitsurugi was able to put up quite the fight there. That was good. Well, let's see how game 2 goes. And once again, Pure Mitsurugi able to go first here. Activate Habakiri, no Fuwa, no Maxi, Saji effect. Are we gonna get ashed on it? Looks like also no. Okay. Good start for Mitsu. But it is pure Mitsurugi, so it's not as auto-win. Just because it's gonna resolve Ritual. Not like there's gonna be a lot of Yummies in the mix as well, or Ryziels or Fiendsmith. I mean, there could be Fiendsmith. We didn't really see that. They played Pot of Extravagance, so I doubt there's Fiendsmith in there. All right, we're fusing Lamia and Kusanagi for Habakiri here, which is just gonna not chain block Kusanagi from Bell, but there is no Bell. It's weird how pure decks create better games. I didn't expect it. Is that ironic? Because I feel like that's got to be ironic, right? All right, we search Aramasa and we bring back the Habakiri from the graveyard. Yes. Okay. I was just double checking. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I was just making sure. Now we activate Futsu. If you want to summon the Futsu, you have to search Mitsurugi Mirror. But if you tribute Murakumo for Mitsurugi Mirror and bring back the Futsu, then everything has been tributed once this turn. So Nibiru would go in quite hard if that happens. So I'm not sure. I don't know if I agree with this sequencing. This is potentially really scary. into Nibiru. Not even making like, I think if you want to take this risk, then you can, but then you should at least make like an SP Little Knight out of these two beforehand, so that you can kind of like recover from the Nibiru. I mean, you have prayers for Murakumo or Futsu if you get nibbed here, but it still is, it hurts a lot if you get nibbed on this. But it looks like there is no nib. And now we have Photon Lord again. Now we have the Photon Lord. But that was basically that you gave your opponent a really, really good window to Nibiru, but didn't get punished for it, I guess. I mean, sometimes you gotta take risks. So maybe if I don't know their hand, if their hand is really weak, maybe it was necessary. If they have like no non-engine and they need their board to be as strong as possible, then this could be valid. Sometimes you gotta risk it. All right, set 2 pass. Not really that bad for Draco Tail here. Like honestly, activate 1 Ketu if they don't have great purification. It's absolutely winnable. Okay, we have Ash on Branded Fusion. That's a good first step. That's usually a winning play. And there's the Ketu. Is there a great purification? No, but there's a Max C. That's also usually a winning play. Make a board, then drop Max C. It's a tested strategy that's been working for a lot of people. Make board, activate bug. Been there, done that. All right, Pan is added to the hand. Now, if there's any deck that can kind of deal with this entire situation, it is Draco Tail, because Draco Tail might be able to, you know, kind of work this out with just 1 or 2 special summons maybe, and make a board that can survive the next turn. But I mean, you're gonna get the IP is gonna summon SP, the Photon Lord is gonna negate one of your chain links. You can decide which one though, so that's maybe okay. But like Futsu applies a lot of pressure that you kind of have to play into. So if Maxi is active, how are you gonna out this Futsu? Because you can't. This time around, it's not as simple as activate Arthalion to bounce it, because they just chain prayers. What do you think it takes to make Goatee meta? I think Goatee needs consistency. I think Goatee would need like starters that don't need your normal summon. I think that would be good. Something that helps you get all the fishes in rotation. Because it actually, I think Goatee, believe it or not, since it's not a very meta strategy, but I think it has a really cool resource and interruption loop. But it has to get there, which is usually the problem. All right, Urgula is on chain link 3. So Urgula is the one that gets negated. And we've drawn Called by the Grave. All right, we've gone first. We've comboed, and we had Ash, Maxi, and Called by. That is the holy trinity of cards that win you the game when you go first. Hey, we have our own Maxi. It's a little late to the party, but we have it. Gorgon negating the Arthalion is pretty cool. That's a really cool thing you can do with IP now with this part in the game. Ooh, we have to choose another Urgula from hand. That's not going to activate. Ulamel goes over here, so it doesn't get affected by the Gorgon. We activate the Phimena, which is going to also trigger the Gulamel. Honestly, despite the fact that we've gone first, we had Ash, Maxi called by, and a full Mitsu, pure Mitsu board. This is looking way less over than I feel like it should. Which I guess just speaks to the power of Ketu Draco Tail, but also just like, it's pure Mitsu, you know? It's not Mitsuyami. Or whatever. You know? It's they're still in a good spot. Like this, but there's still a game left to be played. Urgula on Phimena. The set should be Prayers, which I think they've been hesitant to activate because Maxi is active. So the Maxi for turn actually quite impactful here, because otherwise the Prayers just brings back Futsu, and Futsu brings back the whole gang, right? Gonna still use that Prayers in the end phase. Tribute Murakumo from hand. Probably revive the Murakumo from the graveyard. Destroy both of these. Search for Vosu. How much time left? They got like 13 minutes. I think it's not unlikely that Mitsu is winning this game in the next like 5, maybe 10. But yeah, game 3 could potentially be relatively low on timer, which should be an advantage for Draco Tail, right? Because if you're close to time with Mitsurugi, you just can't pay 800 for Prayers, which limits your options. At the same time, you can win the game off of something really small like Murakumo attack Arthalion. Alright, we've got a set Draco Tail state, and that's it. We have a Phimena in hand, but we don't know how many other monsters. We do have to discard one for Murakumo as well, so that's going to be a costly Phimena.
Piss.
Mirror. Right now, we've got multiple rituals in the graveyard, so stinging one of them wouldn't prevent this. Tribute Murakumo from a hand. Summon Futsu in defense. We're not looking to go for game this turn, it seems. Search the trap. I mean, you don't have to go for game here. Your position is really solid. Yeah, this one is from Prayers. You are right. So this cannot attack directly. We've already activated Prayers. No, we didn't. That was end phase. But it is hard to go for game. All right, battle phase has been entered. So we're gonna deal, honestly, minimal amount of damage here because the Murakumo cannot attack directly. It's from Prayer. So main phase 2. Draco Tail still has more life points, which is a little concerning. But it should be a winning spot for Mitsu here, unless the game goes on for 10 more minutes. Making me nervous with how long they take to think on when to pass. We do make a link 2 in main phase 2. That is going to trigger potentially Arthalion and Gulamel in the graveyard. SP is going to target Sting. Gulamel activates. Arthalion activates. Main Sting. Is this gonna prompt the Murakumo, I guess?
Piss.
A good Sting, to be fair. Vanishing Mirror. We chain Prayers. Tributing Haba. We chain Prayers? A tribute Habakiri for Prayers. Use search another Habakiri. Take 800. Revive the target for Sting, probably, is what I'm guessing why we're doing this. Yeah, we don't want to lose Kusanagi out of rotation. We lose Mirror, but we saw earlier that they played 2. Also, they haven't used the Kusanagi yet. So Sting draws a card. These 2 hit the board. I'm just wondering why we didn't chain the Murakumo on the Sting, because that would have forced the discard. Have we used that already? No. Okay, Habakiri Engraved Searches. So is Magatama still in the deck?
Thank you very much.
Magatama is in the deck, and Kusanagi can add back Prayers. So we're gonna have Trap, Prayers, Magatama, Murakumo. It's like the full thing. We've got everything. But the problem is, this game is getting a lot more complicated now than it maybe needed to be.
I'll keep an eye on him.
And there's 8 minutes left, and Mitsurugi has less life points,
Doing this
which
then?
is concerning. It's concerning because the chance that Draco Tail can outgrind this for a couple more minutes is not 0.
Well, I'll call the doctor. I'll call the doctor.
The chance that Mitsurugi can that Draco Tail can stay in this for a while longer is actually not that small.
Oh, okay.
The chance that Draco Tail is winning this game, if it wasn't for time, is virtually 0, I think. Unless some weird stuff happens. But it's definitely possible that they can stay in this for 7 more minutes without taking damage.
Take a seat.
Because that kind of like shifts the goal.
Not bad.
That's like shifting the goalpost a little bit, right?
Keep at it, all right?
Ooh, Baylor onto the SP Little
Welcome.
Knight.
How are you doing?
Chain Murakumo. Force a discard if you want that Baylor to resolve.
Could I help you? Thank you very much.
Do you
welcome.
want to discard? No, you let the Baylor negate
The
it.
guest
SP
book is
banishes
here.
the Gulamel. The Gulamel will not come back because it's from the graveyard. However,